So how this all began, right? 2 weeks ago, the organizers of Pi, they reach out to me and they're like, Madin, we want you to talk. So I'm like, about what? And they're like, anything. I'm like, anything? So they gave me the opportunity to talk about anything that I wanted. Now on paper, it sounds very easy, but turns out deciding a topic on anything is one of the hardest choices in life. So why did I choose leading change? See, I travel a lot. I study in Malaysia and I have the opportunity to travel to a lot of different countries, especially in the Southeast Asian region, mainly because I'm very active in the activities of the United Nations. So I meet a lot of different people of different color, different cultures, different values, different shapes, different makes, and different sizes. But what I've always noticed that was common in every one of them was this burning desire to make an impact. And most of the time, they have no idea how to go about that, but they have this desire to bring some change. I mean, think about it. It's a Saturday evening. Tomorrow, most of you probably have work. Some of you probably have school. But you decided that of all the things you could have done on a Saturday evening, that you'd come and listen to me. I hope it's going to be worth it. I'm going to try my best. But it goes to show that there's something deep inside each and every one of you that made you want to sacrifice your Saturday evening and come listen to me. So, why leading change, right? What I would like to do within this short period of time is to give you all 4 traits that I've come across during my experience organizing different societies, in my own experience bringing change as an individual, as an organizer, and also now as the CEO of a company. There are 4 traits that I find that are particularly crucial if you want to bring change. I call them the 4 Ps. So the first P is pain. See, the thing is, leadership and change are 2 of the hardest tasks in life. Sorry about the sound. Leadership, being a leader means you are responsible for a group of people. You have to be consciously, constantly aware of their well-being, and you'll be questioned on the day of judgment about your dealings with them. Change is inevitable, it's unpredictable, and it's oftentimes disruptive. So leading change means you not only have to care about the people that you are responsible for, but you have to ensure that you are changing them towards a better future. This is why leading change is such a hard concept and oftentimes is attributed with pain. I often like to cite the civil rights movement as one of the best case studies in human leading change endeavors. See, Martin Luther King Jr., he had to go through immense pain during his time being the symbol of civil rights movement. He was jailed 20 times. He was backstabbed both literally and figuratively by those who are closest to him. And he even had his house burned down to the ground. But none of it stopped him from trying to free the black man from the chains of discrimination and slavery. And in one of his most famous quotes, he mentions that as my sufferings mounted, I was faced with 2 choices: to face it with bitterness or to transform the suffering into something that is creative. I chose the latter. And I think when it comes to accepting pain, my ask of all of you is change will bring pain, but transform that pain into something that is creative. Now the second P is patience. And I think patience is something that is heavily underrated. And I've noticed this in Maldives quite often. Maldivians love quick change. We are very impulsive. When we don't like a government, we want them to change the next day. When we don't like our wives, we want to change them the next day, which is why we have the highest divorce rate in the world. We want to change everything, and we want the change to be immediate. But the problem is, change, true sustainable change, takes time. Martin Luther King Jr. spent almost 20 years of his life just trying to enact one act, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So true change takes time, but why is that? I mean, look around you. In God's intelligent design, we see that every change that is really important and crucial takes a lot of time. From the birth of a human baby, to the baby becoming an adult, from the birth of a star, to the growth of a tree, to the change, the metamorphosis of a caterpillar into a butterfly, change takes time. And this is something that every one of us need to really, really embody. Because if you ever want change to happen the next day, it's never going to be sustainable. And civil rights movement is one of the most successful movements in history because they took their time, they were patient about it. But patience and pain cannot coexist without perseverance. You can't be patient through pain unless you persevere. So perseverance is your ability to face the situation and try to do something about it in spite of the difficulties. It's the ability for you to sink down your feet, anchor it down when the things get hard, when the storm comes. You don't waver, you look forward and you ensure that you are able to go through it. When it comes to the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King Jr. was an excellent person when it comes to perseverance. The biggest threat that Martin Luther King Jr. faced was not from the white men, but it was from his own kind. See, the Black Panthers party, not the movie, but the actual party back in the days, they were the biggest threat to Martin Luther King Jr. because they advocated for violence, they advocated for hard, radical change. But Martin Luther King Jr. was an advocate of non-violent protest. And this meant that he was a direct threat to their ideology. And there were many times when they tried to assassinate him, when they tried to attack his loved ones. But in spite of all this, in spite of the fact that he was constantly overlooked and looked down upon by his own people, he was able to persevere. So perseverance is crucial if you want to bring about sustainable change. Now the fourth quality is passion. Now passion is what you often see when it comes to movements, especially social movements that tries to bring about change. But passion isn't just about anger or excitement. Passion could also be that deep burning desire in your hearts and in your eyes that when someone looks into them, they'll see how much you're determined to bring about the change. Martin Luther King Jr., before he died, he gave one of the most passionate and moving speeches of all time, the I Have a Dream speech. And in that speech, he constantly highlighted how much the black people were belittled during their time, the perils of the blacks. And yet, at every step, he painted this passionate picture of a dream that he envisioned where the black man and the white man would be able to sit down at the top of a hill as equal men. And it was this passion that called people to his cause. So if you want to bring about change, you have to passionately believe in your own cause. Because if you don't believe in your cause, then no one else will. And passion alone is not enough to bring about change, which is why you need perseverance, pain, and patience. And with passion, you would be able to bring about the change that you want to see in your own country, for example. Pain, patience, perseverance, and passion. These are four qualities that I personally believe that all of you should embody when you are going about your day, when you want to bring a change. For example, it could be something as small as your own classroom if you are a student or a teacher. But you need to embody these four values. At AI, one of our vision is to be a role model in these four qualities, is to try to the way to usher this change that we have gone through our fair share of pain. We've been through a 5-year-long process to get to this point. And we've had to deal with countless painful experiences. We've also had to be really patient. We did not go into the media directly because we wanted to make sure we had a strong team, that we were able to moderate the growth. So we were really patient, although we had the chance to go out into the public. Patience was critical in our ability to cater for the demand of the public. We also had to persevere countless obstacles. I mean, 5 years is a long time, and especially before the bridge, it was a nightmare. The transportation ministry didn't like it, the taxis didn't agree, it was just nightmare. We could have given up at any point because we didn't really have any support. We were just two guys, me and my co-founder Niaz. But we persevered because we wanted to bring this change for the public. We knew it was needed. If Maldives were to be a respected, reputable member of the international community, we have to be innovative. And this is why we persevered. But most importantly, we have a passion. We have a passion with a vision to change the Maldivian landscape within 10 years. We want to lead the way for innovation so that every one of you can follow suit, so that every one of you can innovate in your own respective fields. See, AI is more than just a taxi booking application. It's a philosophy. It's a cause and it's a company. And my hope is that AI is able to lead this way, to be a role model, so that all of you will have the courage to lead change as well. But it's going to be a very difficult journey. See, I like to say that bringing change, leading change is like growing a tree. You do it for years and years and you don't see the benefits. The tree is ugly as it grows, but until one day, everything and everyone around you feels and reaps the benefits of its impacts for generations to come. And I sincerely hope that every one of you today will be a part of this incredible journey. Thank you.